Want to talk Afrobeat and the state of Afrobeat because I want to do a timeline from since I started listening to Afrobeat and where it is now. And the first Afrobeat song I was introduced to, I don't know if it's considered in the realm of Afrobeat anymore, but it was African Queen by Two-Face. African Queen by Two-Face. He said, "You are my African queen, the girl of my dreams." And then after that, it was Yodi Yodi by Bracket. I don't know where Bracket went, but I. And then it was Busybody, yeah. Do your busybody, yeah, eh, eh. Ah. And then what's it called? What's it called? The one with the wedding. Oh yeah, eh, 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 eh. Oh yeah, eh, 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 eh. No One Like You. It's No One Like You next by P Square. And P Square dominated for a long time. And then for a short periodical time, I stopped listening to Afrobeat. I stopped listening to Afrobeat for a short periodical amount of time. And when I returned to it, we had You Did Do Me Like Antenna. Okay. I said, okay, I'll sit down. I'll sit down for this one. I'll listen some more. And then we got Runtown, Mano by You. Every time I hear that song, I'm like, that's so embarrassing. He's talking about me. And then we got Pataranking, and we got, who else? I'm thinking. We got Pataranking, we got Sakodi. No kissing, babe. No touching, babe. And then, things are diversifying. It was no longer P Square, P Square, P Square, P Square. And one thing I will never forgive P Square for is the song If I Don't Get Today, then I'll get tomorrow. Go easy on me. It's about him being broke and then getting money. And I didn't know for a long time that P Square was called P Square because it's two twins, Peter and Paul. And so it's so cute. It's such a cute name. But in that song, the way he talks about the girl, he said, "I'm discarding you," and it doesn't even make sense because he goes with a girl that, like, he has money now. Like, yes, you have money, and obviously no one wants a mechanic. Everybody wants a baller. I'm kidding. You can want a mechanic, respectfully. But yeah, I didn't get the message of that song. It was just very vindictive in the way that he treated her for being like, we're broke. And then in terms of what's their names? Like, this is more of, I think, the Congo and the French artists. You had Fali Pupa, and you had, I don't know if Tufan, is that how you say it? Tufan is more French, but that's who you had there when I came back to Afrobeat. And then the shot that was heard all over the world was shot. Actually, prior to that, let's go a little bit before that. And then after that, it was Davido. Davido started dominating. He said, "Ah yeah, ah yeah." And at this time, Afrobeat was very authentically African. You could see the countries in which they were filming in and be like, oh, that's there. You could see the way they were talking, and you're like, oh, you're from there. Like, you could still see that, but they're not as, it's not coming out as African as it was before. And you could see a distinction starting to form from Two-Face's video where he was singing African Queen and multiple people were showcased, and the faces, beautiful, the most beautiful women ever, and you can see the diversity in the faces showcased. And I feel like as we continued to westernize and as Afrobeat became more available and more on demand in the Western world, the faces you saw, the different skin tones became less and less varied, because now we're walking towards beige. Why are there people, I don't want to get into that actually, but no, I'm gonna get into it. Why every other African song has a person that look like this now? And it's no hate, love that you guys are enjoying it, but we went from a place where diverse range of colors and shades, and now it's beige to cream. Beige to cream is all that is allowed, or they start at me to cream. And if you are African, or if you're around people just generally, you know that the darker shades, like the people after, there are a lot of people after me. And so that, when I saw that change, it really depressed me and like saddened me, because it signaled a transformation from, we celebrate everybody. You know how you will not find yourself in a music video that is a Western? We got you right here. And the more Western Afrobeat has gotten with I don't know what Burna Boy is doing. Burna Boy said he don't do Afrobeat, so I don't want to talk about him. But I'm gonna talk about the collaborations I liked and enjoyed when it came to Afrobeat, but also that's just like generally the music videos, I noticed them plummeting, and a lot of people have been discussing how the diversity has just like gone down, and the themes in the music regarding like African themes have gone down. And I before I talk about that, I want to interject and add two African artists, East African artists, because I am East African. And so you have Diamond Platinum, and Sauti Soul is only that's all we have. That's all we have. That's not all we have. We have a lot of variation in music. It's just like people have not discovered East African music yet and do not share the love that I share and I hold for it. And it's hard to introduce people to East African music, because I'm just like, no, but like, wait, it's gonna hit. You just have to be patient, and you just have to be used to a different type of sound to enjoy East African music. But yeah, the artists collaborations that I really enjoyed were between Wale, and the song is Spirits, and it was with a South African artist, and I really enjoyed it because it was really rooted in the time. It was rooted in the moment. Like, you saw clearly the conversations that were going on. And Omarion with Distance, you could see the African influences. And I know I don't know if he actually interviewed the people that were in the video, because you can't even find the music video anymore for Distance. I don't know why, but you could clearly see that, oh, he talked to someone. He explored the place. Not a lot, but he explored the place. And the ones that I feel iffy about are the ones with, for what's his name? That man. Ed Sheeran, the one with Ed Sheeran where he was singing Sweet. And I was like, okay, babe, this is cool. And then I went in the comments and everyone is like, you sound so good. And then I consulted with my local Ghanaian person representative and they were like, sounds great to me. But he actually tried and he put effort into it. That's why I'm saying asterisk. But for songs like Peru, he did not need to be in Peru. He did not need to be there. And I think the biggest shift happened when Joanna was released. Joanna really caught everybody off guard. And it caught everybody off guard 2 years after he was really circulating in the African communities. And so I had already really enjoyed the song. And now every club, bar, hookah spot, lounge was just playing Joanna. And I was so tired because I was like, there are other things. And then I think that's when Burna Boy really established himself with yeah. But I would not be talking about Burna Boy because he said, I do not make Afrobeats. So he is another case. But with the increase in Western collaboration, Chris Brown, boo. But I didn't see why. Why did Chris Brown need to make an Afrobeat song? And Drake from Canada, Drake tried, but he does, you know, he shapeshifts a lot. So you expected it with Drake. You expected him to come out combination, African in Canada, because he's gonna milk. One thing he's going to do is milk any any of any of his ambiguity. He's just going to milk it. He's going to be like, oh, I'm that too. Right? Yeah, I'm British too. I'm British too. And so if one thing about Drake is he's going to milk it. He does not care about the culture. But the camel on the what's that saying? The camel on the needle? But the needle on the camel's back. That did not sound right. But my downfall, my breaking point was, you don't need no other bunny. I cried that day. And everyone was listening to Essence with Justin Bieber. And I was like, I get it. I get why African artists are doing this. I get why you're collaborating with Western artists. But at the same time, at the same point, you know, like, you don't have to, like, especially with artists like Wizkid, like, you've already established yourself, baby. You don't have to. I get that you want to reach a wide audience. You want to open your doors and windows and air everything out and allow new air to come in. But I while sacrificing your art, and I guess it did what it needed to do, because everyone was talking about the song the whole summer. When the summer before, I was listening to it every day. Every day I listened to it. And like, so Olamide, is it Olamide? Olamide. And Loading changed my life. I really thoroughly loved that song and enjoyed it. And Bad Boy Tim's, see it's like, because of, I'm gonna say it wrong the second time, because of Olamide, I now, or is it Olomide? I don't know if it's an A or an O. Because of him, I was now introduced to Bad Boy Tim's. I don't know if Bad Boy Tim's is African, but I was introduced to Bad Boy Tim's because of him. And so I was allowed to explore different artists, and I think Wizkid did a great job with this. Like I said before, with just collaborating with Thames, that really put Thames on the map, and Thames blew up a lot faster. And if Wizkid already had that power, I wish he would just, I know he did it with Buju. I don't know who else he did it with. I don't know if that's Buju's name anymore, but I don't know who else he did it with. But through that collaboration, I found different artists. I knew about Thames before, but I had found, through that album, I found so many artists. Like when he was doing featuring, I found so many artists. And I just wish that instead of going for the quick cash grab, which is collaborating with a Western artist, or instead of like the Western artists themselves, do a little bit of research, please, and collaborate with a person that's up and coming, like a person that doesn't have a lot of viewership yet. And I think this can easily be done. It's just that people are not putting in the effort, and they're just like, okay, this person's popular, this artist is popular, without looking at all the other people that are very talented, and it's opportunity that they do not have is why they're in the places that they are. And I don't want to talk about Naira Marley because don't trust that man. But what I want to talk about is the decreasing opportunities that are being given to local artists. Yes, I understand, like they're collaborating, they're doing the best they can, but I feel like going to a Western artist and doing cash grab instead of, you know, doing little remix, it does with local small artists, it doesn't take out that much from you, and you also like get to experience something new. Because I feel like once people are out of the spot they were in before, like they make it and they're not in the up and coming, it's hard to see how difficult it is to be up and coming. And it's hard to see how difficult it is, or it was, to receive the opportunity once you're there, because all you're thinking is I worked hard, so they have to work hard. But I don't think that should be a thing with artistry. But I don't also know what's happening behind the scenes, and maybe they're trying their best. And the other thing is, there's no effort really when they're collaborating. And I wanted to leave off with, I just wish for the future there are more artists that are sampling locally, that are like, okay, there are people there that need my help. And another thing that really got me mad was when Wizkid was like, I'm not going to be performing in African countries anymore. I hate you guys. He didn't say that. He didn't say. And I do understand, like, logistics wise, it's very hard to find venues, and everyone is like, give me small money, give me small money. And so it's very hard to do that. But I think it's also abandoning your core audience, the people that have carried you through this experience, because the people that supported you when the world didn't know you are there. So I think there shouldn't be an effort made even to create a more functioning industry and not just neglect the audience. And that's one of the issues that or the biggest issue that I'm really having with the increase of African music and afrobeat genre as a whole, and its popularity in the Western world. And I really do not want it to get to the point where we have people that look like this doing Afrobeat, no collaboration, just them. I don't want that, because I've seen it happen with hip hop, and how it is so, specifically Afrobeats, which is a genre created by Africans, and it being taken over by the West, and how that is also leaving Africans behind and without a say in what's going on in the music scene, is really saddening to me. Because with African Queen, I really was able to see myself. I really could identify with any of the women in that video. And even as late as, or as recent as Runtown, I could identify with the people in that video. And more, I don't find myself in there. You know, even I could see myself, like I could see myself in the story that was being told. And I don't see that as much anymore. And the last thing is, I wanted to just shout out Alte artists, because love the Alte artists. The Caveman, Cool Santino, Non Somebody, but Non Somebody is very popular. I don't know.